Just ahead on CTV News, President Trump provides an update on the war with Iran, and
prices are going up, and the conflict between Iran and the U.S. is to blame. I'm Anaya Falcon. Coming up, I'll share how Maryland families are feeling the pinch.
Plus,
how a powerful Easter celebration in an unlikely place is changing lives. I'm Noah James, and just ahead, the details on that celebration.
These stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening, this is CTV News for April 2nd. I'm Michaela Newton.
And I'm Brandon Williams. Thank you so much for joining us.
Our top story tonight, President Donald Trump says the U.S. is making progress in its war with Iran, calling the military unstoppable in a primetime address Wednesday night. He told Americans the conflict could end soon. Trump says the U.S. will continue strikes until military objectives are fully achieved, warning of more aggressive action in the coming weeks. He also defended the war, saying it's necessary for global security.
I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office.
The president has not ruled out further escalation, including the possibility of additional military action if Iran does not reach a deal. And the war with Iran isn't just playing out overseas, it's also showing up in Americans' wallets.
That's right, and CTV's Anaya Falcon explains how the conflict could be affecting your budget.
Rising tensions in the Middle East are now hitting Americans where it hurts most, their wallets. The war involving Iran is disrupting global energy supplies, and here in Maryland, people are feeling it at the gas pump, in their electric bills, and at the grocery store. Nationally, gas prices have surged past $4 a gallon for the first time in more than 3 years, after oil prices spiked above $100 a barrel during the war. In Maryland, the average price for regular gas is about $4.06 per gallon, and that's more than $1 higher than it was just a month ago. But gas prices are just one part of the problem. Rising energy costs could also mean higher electric bills for some Pepco customers, as the company proposes rate increases that could impact Maryland households. Economists say higher oil prices drive up transportation and farming costs, which can lead to more expensive groceries. The financial markets are also feeling the impact, sharply reacting after the president's address last night about the war. I spoke with a financial advisor who says there are a few steps people can take to ease the financial strain of the times.
We are going to first do an audit, know where our money is going. Then we will cut costs without cutting your lifestyle. Then we want to make sure that our money is working harder for us, and then be tax efficient, and then plan ahead for big expenses.
And some Maryland lawmakers are pushing for a temporary gas tax break to help drivers, but that proposal hasn't been approved yet. For now, economists say the biggest factor that could bring prices down is how quickly the war ends. Back to you at the desk.
All right, and that was our Anaya Falcon reporting in studio. Thanks so much. President Donald Trump says the U.S. military could finish its operation in the next 2 to 3 weeks, but also warned that more strikes could continue if Iran doesn't meet U.S. demands. The comments come as the conflict continues to impact global energy markets and drive up costs here at home.
A scam alert for Prince George's County residents. County police have sent out a warning about a couple of scams happening in our area. According to PGPD, the suspects are posing as Pepco utility workers and targeting elderly residents. They're knocking on doors and entering their homes, claiming there is a serious electrical problem that needs immediate attention. And they're asking victims for money up front before any work is done. In 2026, there's been 3 reported incidents, with one victim losing over $8,000. County police and Pepco is urging residents to take extra precaution and call police if they feel uneasy.
If we are out in the community, whether it's repairing an outage or checking a meter on behalf of our customers, our workers, our line workers and field workers are properly identified through clothing as well as badging that has their name as well as company logo on. And if they ever have concerns, that they can call into our call center to verify that this particular employee is out on behalf of Pepco.
Verify all the information that you get to a trusted official, and then protect your money. Do not be in a rush to get give away your money. If you feel like you need service, tell them, all right, come back, let me talk to somebody, talk to a friend, or even call us to see if we can provide some tips and help on it.
If you want to report or confirm a Pepco worker in your area, you can call 202-833-7500.
And county police are investigating a fatal pedestrian crash in Oxon Hill Wednesday night. It happened in the area of St. Barnabas Road and Virginia Lane around 9 p.m. According to police, a man was struck by two vehicles in the eastbound lanes. When officers arrived, they found him unresponsive, and he was later pronounced dead on the scene. The road was closed in both directions and reopened around 9 a.m. this morning. Anyone with any information is asked to call 301-731-4422.
A system under pressure and a promise to fix it. Governor Wes Moore is rolling out foster care reforms in Maryland to address what advocates call a placement crisis. The plan adds group home beds and set standards for one-on-one care. But in places like Montgomery County, kids are still sent far from home and placed in temporary settings due to lack of options. Advocates say more beds help, but stability is what matters most. For now, there's cautious optimism, but advocates say real change will depend on accountability and follow-through.
Meanwhile, a push in Annapolis to change how young offenders are treated is gaining urgency. Lawmakers are racing the clock to pass a bill that would make it harder to charge juveniles as adults. The measure would raise the age from 14 to 16 years old for most crimes. Supporters say keeping the Senate version intact gives it the best chance of passing before the session ends April 13th.
And a Maryland lawmaker looks to help protect tenants from being pushed out of their apartments without reason. Delegate Janelle Wilkins of Montgomery County is the sponsor of House Bill 774. The measure, commonly referred to as the Good Cause Evictions Bill, would allow local jurisdictions to require that landlords that want to terminate a lease must provide tenants with a specified reason. Wilkins says within the bill, it outlines about 10 reasons a landlord could use to end a tenant's license.
I'm thrilled that good cause eviction is moving in the House of Delegates, and it's really a simple premise with this bill. No one should be evicted from their homes without a good reason provided. There is so much instability in our country. Our residents and families are facing increasing costs. And when you have a home where you are following the rules, you are paying your rent, it is at a cost that you can afford. We need to make sure that families are able to stay in those homes.
The bill was voted favorably out of the House of Economic Matters Committee. Wilkins expects floor debate to start tomorrow on the measure, with a final House vote sometime next week. You're watching CTV News. I'm Brandon Williams.
And I'm Michaela Newton. Still to come.
With Easter around the corner, there's one place that's gearing up for a major Easter egg hunt. I'm Jonathan Hunter. Coming up, I have details on that Easter egg hunt and what the place is doing to make sure kids have hands-on activities.
Hi, I'm Leland Melvin, and I travel to space twice as a NASA astronaut. Space technologies help protect our precious Earth. Space helps us monitor changes in carbon emissions, track the pace of climate change, yet even helps us fight natural disasters. Make sure that you get out to your local science museum or go to spaceforall.us to explore and learn about space and science. Space is for all.
If alcohol builds a wall around you that doesn't let you see where you're going, that keeps you feeling isolated and alone, that makes you feel hopeless, know this. We're here to help if you want us to. It's never too early or too late to ask for help with a drinking problem. Alcoholics Anonymous, there is a way out. For more information, visit aa.org and download the Meeting Guide app.
Welcome back. Liftoff was a success. The crew of the Artemis II space mission are in flight after launching from the agency's Kennedy Space Center in Florida last night, marking the first crewed space launch since 1972. The crew is making a 10-day mission around the moon, testing out the life support systems of the Orion spacecraft. The efforts will support the construction of a moon base and potential missions to Mars. CTV spoke with a NASA scientist who tells us it's all a part of expanding our solar footprint.
The astronauts on Artemis II will be helping us learn how the Orion spacecraft operates, which will put us in a position to design systems in the future for traveling to and around the moon, even on the surface of the moon. We do plan to land our future missions in the south polar region of the moon and then start to build up some infrastructure on our way towards basically having a moon base, with the goal really of establishing a permanent presence on the moon, similar to how we've had a permanent presence in low Earth orbit for the last 20 plus years on the International Space Station.
Wishing them all the best. And if you want to see updates on the mission, head over to nasa.gov. Some new speed cameras in Montgomery County are catching drivers' attention due to its unique shape. This is one of the new speed cameras that Montgomery County Police have installed. The 6 speed cameras are large, high-tech, and were designed by Vitronic, a Germany-based company. Online chatter has compared the speed cameras to Tesla's Cybertrucks. Officials say some of the cameras will be fixed, while others will be moved to high-risk areas around the county.
And storms brought air travel in the D.C. region to a standstill Wednesday. The Federal Aviation Administration has all 3 major airports were hit ground stops for about an hour. Flights at BWI and Dulles were halted until 6 p.m., while Reagan National also faced delays lasting into the night. Meanwhile, yesterday, the University of Maryland Police Department was alerted to an alleged hate crime involving an anti-Semitic social media post. University of Maryland's President Daryl Pines reportedly condemned the alleged hate crime within an email Monday, referring to an image posted on social media that said, quote, targets a Jewish member of the community. The image has since been deleted. UMPD's Criminal Investigations Unit is actively investigating, and anyone with information about the incident or the suspect is urged to call 301-405-3555.
County Executive Aisha Braveboyd and Council Chair Crystal Ordiatha have launched a campaign called Early Connections. The goal is to connect families who have children with autism with resources. They made the announcement yesterday. This month, the county is partnering with libraries in the county to hold 3 in-person resource fairs. They are specifically targeting families with kids 5 years of age or younger. For several families who have autism, they don't always know where to go.
The campaign starts with making sure that we bring the resources to the library system, that we break down all of the barriers, we start the screening process, but we know that the services are going to be what's crucial. And so I commend the county executive at starting an investment now.
We have to come together as a community here in Prince George's County. We have to share our stories. We have to remove the shame because, again, we're talking about early intervention, but if you have that shame, you're going to wait until the schools, your child gets in the schools and they tell you that, hey, it's beyond this diagnosis.
The first Early Connections Resource Fair is set to take place this Saturday at the South Bowie Library from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. At Prince George's County Department of Corrections, Easter service took on a special meaning.
That's right. Moving Forward Ministries hosted a worship service for incarcerated men and women. CTV's Noel James brings us inside the celebration.
Inside these walls, Easter looks a little different, but the message remains the same. Today, Moving Forward Ministries brought worship, praise, and a message of renewal to the men and women of the Prince George's County Jail.
Before the doors even opened, you could hear it.
Voices rising, hands clapping in a kind of worship that fills the hallway long before you reach the room. For 2 years, Moving Forward Ministries has been working inside the county jail, offering Bible study and support for those preparing for a second chance. And this year's Easter service was no different. The inmates got to celebrate the reason for the season.
I've been baptized here, and that's one of the most amazing feelings. This program alone is amazing. You know, being in jail, it really brings your spirit down. You don't really have no one to talk to, so coming here and being able to worship Jesus and coming together like this is just an amazing experience.
I'm blessed to be here, blessed to still be on this earth, blessed for another day. God gets all the glory, and in Jesus' name, amen.
Circuit Court Clerk Mahasin El-Amin delivered remarks highlighting the importance of faith-based programs in rehabilitation.
I couldn't imagine being in the situation that they're in right here, locked up where your freedom is limited, and just to have a moment of, I guess, a sense of normalcy. Bringing church in or bringing any type of religion or faith into institutions such as this is so important.
You know, hope has a funny way of finding people even in the hardest places. And today, it found its way right here. In Upper Marlboro, I'm Noel James for CTV News.
Thank you, Noel. Moving Forward Ministries says it plans to expand its programs this year, adding more classes, mentorship opportunities, and support for individuals preparing to re-enter the community.
Love that. Well, for parents out there, we know it can be challenging to make sure your kids get off the screens and do something productive.
I know that's right. In Upper Marlboro, there's one place that's giving the kids the opportunity to explore and learn. Our Jonathan Hunter visited Kids City and got a preview of their Easter egg hunt.
EVA and Anthony Okorega are the proud co-owners of Kids City in Upper Marlboro. When their kids were younger, they realized there weren't a lot of places locally where kids and parents could play together and do hands-on activities.
We really created this thing because we wanted the parents to engage in playing with the kids as well.
So, on Labor Day weekend, they opened their doors. Kids City has several stations where kids can engage in hands-on activities. Plus, they have a basketball court where everyone can move their bodies.
Then I wanted something that their brain, cognitive development, social skills, language development, emotional building, not just bouncing.
Safetu Ajosi is a mom of 4 who comes to Kids City on a regular basis because she wants to make sure her kids have a break from technology.
Especially now that they're overwhelmed with digital devices, this is like the go-to place for me, like every day, to give them an hour, 2 hours of actual hands-on activities and engaging socially with one another.
And at Kids City, they're gearing up for their big Easter egg hunt tomorrow, where they're going to have both a morning and an evening session.
At night, we're going to have a full glow session where the kids are going to play. We have karaoke, we're going to have popcorn, we're going to have a dance party.
In Upper Marlboro, Jonathan Hunter, CTV News.
And the owners of Kids City say they're always open to feedback. They say if there's something you want to see for your kids, let them know, and they'll try to make it work.
I like how they try to add that spin to include the kids during this holiday. It's very special.
Yeah, I know they're probably going to be really excited about this Easter egg hunt, and I wish there was an Easter egg hunt for adults. Because I miss the Easter egg hunts as a kid.
I don't blame you, and I do, and my motivation for finding the eggs was getting to the candy inside.
Absolutely. Now, only if they put, like, money inside for the adults.
Oh, now if that's the case, then nobody is safe around me.
Absolutely. All right, well, still to come on CTV News. Yesterday may have been April Fool's, but it was also 401k day.
After the break, find out how much you should be saving for retirement. We'll be back in a moment.
When I first had Jaden, I'd get comments all the time about how happy I must be. I remember thinking there must be something wrong with me because I don't feel all this joy I'm supposed to be feeling. It was hard to admit that, even to my doctor. But she told me it was postpartum depression and that is very treatable. These days, things are feeling right, even if they don't always go that way.
When a child is fighting a critical illness, there's one truth that touches us all. Every child deserves a childhood. one joyful moment, it sparks a ripple of hope that transforms communities far and wide, even yours. When we grant wishes together, we unlock something bigger, an irresistible movement of kindness, strength, and unity, a spark that uplifts us all.
The whole spirit of what Make-A-Wish is and does, that isn't just life-changing for one individual or one family. That is world-changing.
Become a wishmaker today and be part of a journey that truly changes lives.
Tonight, a sweet U-turn for one of America's most iconic candies. The Hershey Company says it's restoring Reese's Peanut Butter Cups to its classic recipe after backlash over ingredient changes. Some seasonal products had used coatings with less real chocolate as cocoa prices climbed, but criticism, including from a Reese's family descendant, pushed the company to pivot. Hershey says it's listening and bringing back the original formula that built the brand for fans. That means the classic taste isn't going anywhere.
And parents, check your freezers. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food and Safety Inspection Service is issuing a public health alert for great value frozen dinosaur-shaped ready-to-eat chicken nuggets that may be contaminated with unsafe levels of lead. The specific bags are the 29-ounce, 36-count bags with a best if used by date of February 10th, 2027. The problem was discovered during routine surveillance sampling conducted by a state partner. The product should be thrown away or returned to the place of purchase.
And a major car manufacturer is recalling thousands of vehicles due to airbag issues. Chrysler has issued a recall of more than 178,000 vehicles of its 2022 to 2026 Pacifica and Voyager minivans. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says 30% of the minivans are expected to have a defective airbag. The car manufacturer stopped producing the airbags in August of 2025. Car owners that are impacted are expected to get notices by this spring.
All right, listen to this. According to a new study, Americans believe they'll need $1.46 million to retire comfortably. The study, conducted by Northwestern Mutual, explores Americans' attitudes, behaviors, and beliefs towards money and financial decision-making. The number reflects numerous factors, including persistent inflation, longer life expectancies, and uncertainty about the future of Social Security. Data also showed that 1 in 3 Americans feel somewhat or extremely pessimistic about the potential impact of AI on their careers. Experts recommend people should aim to replace around 80% of their pre-retirement income.
Some cats just have a way of making themselves right at home, and this one is already doing exactly that. Meet our pet of the week, Benedict.
Benedict is a 4-year-old male black and white domestic shorthair who's been patiently pursuing his forever home at the shelter since March 17th.
He's got a little bit of everything. Charm, check. Cuddles, double check. Animal services say Benedict loves head rubs, and when he gets them, let's just say he flips for it.
It's been noted that he is a little bit on the shy side and takes some time to warm up, so he would benefit from a more quiet home, maybe a home with older kids or adults. He also loves to cuddle and talk, and he's just all around a really sweet boy.
So if you're looking for a fun, loving companion who might sneak into your lap and stay there, Benedict and all of his furry friends might just be the perfect match for your family.
Call Animal Services at 301-780-7200. And remember, sometimes the best things in life are the ones who purr their way right into your heart.
Purr.
All right, you know what time it is. Time for some sports.
Yeah, Simon Buggs has our Thursday sports page.
Stay tuned for your Thursday sports page, everyone, as a football player from right here in Prince George's County gets a shot to show off his talents for an NFL team. Find out who and which team when we come back.
The drug scene in Maryland is changing. Fentanyl and xylazine are being added to street drugs. and you may not even know it. Xylazine is not even intended for humans, and fentanyl is an opioid 50 times stronger than heroin and contributed to over 80% of overdose deaths in our state. Anyone who uses drugs, even occasionally, is at risk of overdose. To learn more, visit stopoverdose.maryland.gov or call or text 988.
Okay, sports fan, it's finally time for your favorite segment. We begin with some news from the gridiron as a Prince George's County native has a chance to show why he belongs in the NFL. As former Bowie State Bulldog and defensive back Jordan Williams earned an invite to participate in the Baltimore Ravens local pro day today. The Brandywine native recorded 45 tackles and 4 pass breakups this season for the black and gold. Good luck on the next chapter of your football journey, Jordan. Definitely hoping to hear your name get called on draft day. Sticking with football news, we are now in the month of the draft, NFL fans, and multiple Terps are hoping to hear their names get called. Everything these players have done during their time in College Park has helped them get one step closer to making the NFL. And some players told me exactly how their time with Maryland has helped them prepare for the next level.
It's been great, playing corner, playing nickel, and playing safety. All 3 positions really jump-started my career. I probably, if I stayed at corner, probably wouldn't be in the same position I am in right now. And I'm extremely grateful for Locks seeing that in me and changing my position and allowing me to excel as a football player and as a man.
My relationships with Coach Locks, Coach Pep, and everybody here, and my brothers. Being back home, I feel like it prepared me. Like the offense Coach Pep brought in and Locks, like pro-style offense. So I feel like I got wiser and smarter as a football player.
Everything we do here is at a pro level, professional. Everything's professional here. This got me as prepared as anywhere else could have been.
The NFL draft begins on April 23rd. Meanwhile, the UMD women's lacrosse team season has gone as well as they could have hoped, as the Lady Terps are currently 12-0. This team is just allergic to losing right now, y'all. And recently, some players on the team, and Corey Edmondson, JJ Suriano, and Lauren LaPointe, were all named mid-season All-Americans. Beginning with Edmondson, the Maryland native ranks 3rd on the team in points with 42. She's also 2nd on the team in draw controls with 46. And as for LaPointe, she leads the team in points with 63. And last but not least, Soriano leads the entire conference in saves per game with a little over 10, total saves with 123, and save percentage with 530. Maryland returns to action versus Rutgers on Saturday. And in NHL news, the Washington Capitals will take the ice tonight versus the New Jersey Devils at 7:30. And wrapping up sports, the Washington Nationals fell to the Phillies last night in their last game of the series, 6-5. The Naps will try to get back in the win column in their opening day matchup against the Los Angeles Dodgers tomorrow at 1:05. And be sure to tune into CTV Sports tomorrow, guys, because I have a recap for you on the exciting day. And that wraps up your Thursday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
All right, thanks, Simon. Let's check out our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, we'll get some scattered showers. Tomorrow, we'll have a foggy morning, but it's going to be mostly sunny with a high of 82. Saturday, expect rain after 2 p.m. We'll have a high of 85. And Easter Sunday, we have a 90% chance of rain. It'll be 72 degrees.
And for our community calendar, is your kid looking for something to talk about after spring break? Tomorrow afternoon, the Old Maryland Farm is hosting Cow Health Care. Students ages 7 to 16 are welcome to learn the basics of cow health care, including how farmers keep cows clean, healthy, and safe so they can live well and provide us with important products. This activity takes place at 1 p.m. For more information, you can contact the farm at 301-218-6770.
And have a story to tell? You can reach out to our CTV News tip line.
Give us a call at 301-386-4085, or you can send us an email to ctvnews@pgctv.org. And as always, we look forward to hearing from you. And that wraps up CTV News for now. Thank you so much for joining us.
We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.